Coming up next.
Hey, friend. Oh, how I wish we were sitting across the table from each other with a cup of coffee in hand. I don't drink coffee, but tea, whatever you want to have. Just having a quick conversation in the midst of the new school year, in the midst of fall starting to come, in the midst of just navigating the current days. It can tend to be a time of year where things shift again, right? A lot of us have kids out in the summertime and then the school year starts, or everybody else is back to school. So there's just this adjustment in schedule if we're working outside the home. I want to offer just a breath. And one of my favorite phrases that I have drawn from so many times over the years with the Lord: you cannot fight a battle on all fronts.
Welcome to Overwhelmed to Overcomer podcast with coach, encourager, and strategist Anna McLaughlin. If you're a Christian woman who has big dreams rooted in an even bigger God, but most days those dreams feel completely out of reach, trust me, I get it. As a homeschooling mama of 4, entrepreneur, investor, and all around wearer of many hats, I am right there with you. And yet, the Lord invites us to live out our God given purpose now in the midst of the madness. So, let's explore together how we can know our calling and walk in it today with clarity, with courage, with each other. It's time for you to live the life you love and love the life you live. Let's do this thing.
Now, this may not be true from a military tactical standpoint, because I guess you can have different front lines and all of that. We certainly know that in World War II, there was a Western Front and then the Eastern Front. But the concept, I think, applies deeply in the world of the spiritual things, the practical things, the heavenly things. And this can be a really important way to just take a breath. Whatever it is that you're navigating, I want to encourage you to offer so much grace to yourself in this season. Just take a minute and my prayer is that you would feel the Lord speaking right to your heart right now, and that this conversation would be an opportunity for an exhale breath to go, it's okay. It's okay. Right where you are today, I want you to think about the big rocks in your life. Are you dealing with a chronic illness? Are you dealing with a loved one who's under a significant amount of stress? Are you dealing with a child with behavior issues, an aging parent? Just navigating the day-to-day challenges, financial issues, job stress, whatever it might be. And I want you to think about where does the Lord uniquely have me fighting a battle? What is my unique front today? Where is it especially intense? Where is it especially significant? Where is it especially new? And let it be okay to just let the other things hang for a minute. You just let them drop, right? If you're transitioning to launching kids off to school where they used to be at home, if you're digging into homeschool where you used to have them in a public school setting, if you're taking care of an aging parent who used to be more self-sufficient, if you're navigating a difficulty in your marriage that used to run without any hitches at all, I just want to remind you that's the place to focus, right? Think about your big rocks. And if you're not sure, you're like, I don't know, it's an ordinary Tuesday. Nothing comes to mind, right? Where are the places that are especially important to you? Think about your covenant relationships. Think about the work that you're doing for the kingdom and the world, whether that's a secular job or a more of a vocational ministry job. Where are the places where you're leaning in and you're feeling the stretch? Should be one, maybe two. If you feel like you're being pulled in all regards, I want you to focus on the most significant. And if you need to take a moment to get really quiet before the Lord, go, what is it? What exactly is it right now? Just lean into that space. And I want you to just imagine the Lord holding you as you navigate this season. I think about captaining a ship. I learned a little bit about sailing when I was in high school. My mom and I took a sailing class. It was such a joy. And when we're on that water, there are a lot of things that need to be taken care of, right? There are a lot of things that need to be maintained. And I'm not even speaking from someone who really knows all that much about sailing, but just imagine this. You're shepherding this vessel through. And maybe on an ordinary morning, there's a lot to keep track of. Is the food cleaned up from when we ate before so we don't get bugs and yucky things, okay? We don't want birds like coming and eating the food, right? Is all the rigging kind of taken care of? Have we stowed away the bedding from the night before? Is everything shored up and ship shape? Should we kind of wipe down the deck? Should we make sure that things are clean? But then a storm comes. All of that gets dealt with later. For now, the main thing is keeping the ship afloat. We don't even need to stay on course. We just need to keep the ship upright. It's the same for us. It's okay to let things slide a little bit. It's okay if the kitchen doesn't look perfect. It's okay if school falls to the wayside a little bit. It's okay if the car doesn't get serviced right on time. It's okay if we end up having to kind of put the kids in front of a TV show instead of doing the bedtime story routine that we most often love to do. It might be, friend, that you're in the middle of a bit of a storm. May not be a crisis yet, may never get to that point, but I just want to offer you permission today to let some things fall. It may be that it's helpful to say it out loud. And my husband and I even have language around this. I'll say, okay, we can't fight a battle on all fronts. What are we choosing right now? Because here's what happens. And this, oh, human nature in all of its joys. It's exactly when we have the most on our plates that the little things are going to get to us. There's this beautiful little line in Song of Songs that says, "Catch for us the foxes that seek to spoil the vineyard." The little things. It's the little things that get in there and start messing, right? It never feels more important that the kids don't sort their socks until 10 o'clock at night when everybody's already past bedtime. All of a sudden, it's the crisis because it points to this deeper level of lack of regard or a lack of competency or a lack of willingness to do hard things or lack of elevation and perspective, right? And all of a sudden, we're about to get in this huge argument over socks. Not today. Okay? I'm going to invite you to lay down the expectations and to recognize, I call it dying at the door. We've talked about it in here before. It is so often the moment of great stress where we're almost done, right? It's always bedtime. Why do we always have the big meltdowns at bedtime? Because we're almost there. We're so ready for that quiet moment all to our own. Just a moment to sit with our husbands and talk to them about the day, just a moment to watch our show or read our book or just be. And the kid comes out one more time. And there's a question or an argument or a need or I can't find or I forgot about or did you see or did you know or could you tell me? And we're done. We're done. The die at the door phrase is a little bit morbid, but I'll give you the backstory because it's so true of life, I find. A friend of my husband's is a fireman, and he said in his training he learned that the most common place for someone to die in a fire is actually at the door, because they're almost there. They've been making it through. They've been holding their breath. They've been so careful. They've been so focused on getting to the end point. And then they get right to the door. They take a breath. They pass out from the noxious chemicals, which don't get me started on our building materials and how toxic they are. But nonetheless, they pass out and that's it. So too with us. How often do we let these expectations creep in? And we've almost made it. We almost made it to bedtime. We almost made it to the end of that really hard month. And we start to crumble. Let's take some load off our shoulders. And let's recognize these little patterns, right? Let's recognize, oh, we're trying to sprint to the end. We're going beyond our capacity. We don't really have it in the tank, but we're trying to get there anyway, just pushing on empty all the way to the end of that hard season. And then it's that one little like last straw that breaks the camel's back. If you've ever seen the really sweet little story, The Mitten, all these animals, and it's a Russian fairy tale, all these animals packing into this little mitten in the middle of winter. And it's a tiny little cricket that comes over and puts one little foot on the edge of the mitten that's already been packed with a boar and a bear and a fox and an owl. The whole thing blows. That's us sometimes, isn't it? Maybe earlier today. If that's the case, I just want to say it's okay. It's okay. May we just remember this principle, offer some grace to ourselves and those around us. We cannot fight a battle on all fronts. We cannot simultaneously stretch in all of these areas. And if the Lord's calling you to several spaces that feel stretching, all the more reason for so much gentleness in the day to day. That the things that we'd shored up long ago, maybe unlike me, you're actually really good at putting dinner on the table every night. Maybe that's easy most of the time, but not these days. Let it be. Let it be okay to let go of the reins a little bit and say, okay, we're just all in right here right now. We're focusing all in right here. This is not the moment to also be excellent in all these other 16 things that maybe usually run super smoothly. We're just keeping the ship afloat today. Okay. A related concept to this is when we're navigating one thing in particular, when we're really needing to focus. And I'm just going to offer to you, I just want to say this really quickly for those who need to hear it. Again, if it's an ordinary Tuesday and you're like, things are running pretty well, I'm going to invite you to say, okay, well, if I were focusing on one thing right now as an effort to grow, not just to survive, but actually to grow, where would it be? See, sometimes we forget to set our gaze. And so then we find, okay, well, actually, I've just been on autopilot for quite some time. What's the Lord really calling me to press into? Right? Because it might be either way. It might be that the pressing is kind of happening to us, like we're just being pressed. There it is. We're being pressed. That's the work. We've got to face it. Okay? There's a health thing, there's a kid thing, there's an in-laws thing, there's a parents thing, there's a house thing, whatever it is. We just are there we are. It's been thrust upon us and now we're acting in the middle of it. Okay? Or it might be life is pretty ordinary. Where am I called to grow? We may have to go hunt the thing down a little bit. And I'm inviting you, if that's you right now, to do so. Okay. So when we're in this space where we're being called to stretch and grow, or where we're pursuing an opportunity to stretch and grow during a more quiet everyday season, I want to invite you as part of this work to really take a look at where am I walking in expectations and it's tripping me up a little bit, right? The number one way that we can love better is to lay down those expectations. That is what was so powerful about Christ. He needed nothing from us. He drew his full sufficiency, his completeness from the Father, that union with the Father in me and I in him. And because of that, we were free. And what's interesting about this, that really struck me as I was preparing to have this conversation with you, was we can often think of releasing expectations as like a concession. Well, if I don't expect anything, then I'm not going to get anything. Well, Christ actually called people to a higher account than any human ever had, but it was fully right. It was utterly holy because he didn't need it from us for him to be okay. His okayness was fully settled in the Father. And so he could look to us and say, I see you. I see you in all your mess. But see, we could stay in our mess and he was okay. It's when we need something from the other person to be okay that we get in trouble. May we ask and fully release, trusting the Lord is holding us here. We're okay. Now, it can be hurtful. It can be hard to see the relationship for what it is. Oh, you're not going to show up for me there. Oof. Okay. But see, if we fix our gaze in one place, I need them. I need them to come through for me. Then we've got them around the neck, right? We can't love from that place. And we're missing how the Lord wants to provide elsewhere. Because even if someone else showed up and met the exact need that we were begging for, even if, we'd miss it. We wouldn't be able to receive the fullness of it because, like, no, no, I want it over here, though. That's not our business. It's the Lord's business to care for us. And how He's going to do it is fully up to Him. We need to let it go. Okay? All right. So, I mean, I can talk, but that's all I want to leave you with today. I just want to offer you this encouragement that you lay the extra down. If you're in a storm, just lay it on down. Keep the boat afloat today. We cannot fight a battle on all fronts. And if you're not in the middle of the storm, look for where you're being called to press. What's your unique front today? What's the thing He's calling you to grow in? It might be something very practical, like, gosh, it's really time to grow in this habit, right? And I'm just going to commend to you my Overwhelmed to Overcomer guide. If you're really not sure, okay, well, what habit am I building and how am I gonna formulate it? All that's in there, so you can grab that. Or it could be something more spiritual, more internal. Like, okay, I really need to grow in love. I really need to grow in forgiveness. I really need to lay down this thing from my past that's just like a gorilla on my back. It's time. And then as we're doing that work, especially if you're in the storm, we're going to lay down the expectations. We're going to let people show up however they're able and trust that the Lord will fill every gap. And we're going to give the same grace to ourselves. It's actually when we lift the expectations that we're able to love more fully anyway. When we can say, you know what? Like one of the big ones for me, and I've talked about this in here before, I'm not great in the kitchen. Like if I have the margin in my life to meal plan, grocery shop, and then cook, all of those steps get to happen, then I can handle it. I can certainly read a recipe, but open the fridge and let's figure out what's for dinner. I'm totally at sea, completely at sea. And it's only when I just let that be okay and just say, oh, I mean, I'll even tell the kids, you guys know this isn't my gift. It's only then that the expectation is lifted. It's the Lord's business. He could make me better, right? He could rewire my brain in a different way. But interestingly enough, it's precisely the things that He's uniquely gifted me to do that make me so terrible at just picking up and slinging together a recipe, right? It's the methodical, the systematic, the issue spotting, the strategy, all of that that He's uniquely gifted me to do, together with the relational piece, that it's like I don't fly in and do anything, right? I'm dialed in deep, fully focused, intentional, present. And that makes all the bits and pieces that are part of cooking completely challenging for me. Okay, all right. So it's okay. What's yours? What's your thing like that where you're like, oh, okay, it's actually the best parts of me that make me so terrible at this? Let it go and see what He provides. Funnily enough, not only do I have a husband who can just whip it on up in the kitchen, just take care of it, handle the thing, walk in, see three things in the pantry and make something out of it, but now my daughter is amazing in the kitchen. Just a teenager. What a gift. The Lord did that. He knew the gaps that would need to be filled, and He actually provided them in our home, along with a lot of friends who are really good, right? It's okay. We need each other. We're wired for connection. We were not meant to do this alone. Let the things that you're not great at be okay today, especially now. If you're in the middle of fighting a battle, just laugh and go, okay, well, He knew. He knew. I wonder how He's going to meet the need. And then when you see it happen, you send me a message. You let me know. I want to hear all about it. Okay? All right, my friend. Just for today, you cannot fight a battle on all fronts. You weren't made to. Let the other things drift for a while. Focus where He's called you to focus. and know that in His good timing, He will bring you to the next thing exactly when He's supposed to. Okay? All right. Till next time, as always, you've got this because He's got you.
Friend, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Overwhelmed to Overcomer. So, listen, the whole idea behind this mission is that when we endeavor to be brave with our lives, we need to do it together. Belonging is key. So, if you resonated with the message from this episode, share it with a friend. Do it together. Thank you again. And until next time, never forget, you've got this because He's got you.